Welcome to the Milltown Sports Show.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Bird, Milltown Sports Incorporated. I'm here with the head coach from the Canton Middle School football team, Coach Zeb Capps, and we're going to do a little bit of fall preview. We're going to dig deep into the football team, Coach, and then let everybody know about your upcoming season. Coach, this is your second year as a head coach at Canton, and last year, what little bit I got to see of your team, they really improved. Talk a little bit about you, your background, and your coaching staff for this upcoming season.
Yeah, so I graduated from Inca High School. I had the opportunity when I was there to be coached by Coach Brindley. Coach Brindley had actually started his teaching career. He was actually down on the coast at East Carteret, and then got a job at Inca. And we had a good player-coach relationship, and I graduated from Western, actually had an elementary education degree, and during that time period I was actually coaching here at Pisgah. Coach Chappell and Coach Brindley both welcomed me over here, and I got started as just a position coach and kind of worked my way up, and Coach Brindley ended up taking the job at Smoky Mountain High School, and when he did that, there was a PE job that was open, and he said, I'd love to have you, and so I'm very thankful for him and that opportunity of being able to get me out there with him and get my foot in the door as far as being a high school PE teacher. And we had 6 really good years out there, made a lot of good friends, good memories, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to come home. I've lived here since 2016, so Canton is certainly my home. I've got a wife that also works at Bethel Elementary, and got a little girl that's 2, and we live right here in town, and we couldn't be happier to live here in our community. It's just such a special place, and a place where you want to raise a family.
I've been telling people that there's no place like the east end of Haywood County as far as schools and family. Let's dig a little bit deeper into your coaching staff. I know you built on it last year, your first year head coach last year. It takes a while for you to build your program. Let's talk a little bit about your coaching staff coming back with you.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about our coaching staff. We were actually able to hire Jake Moore as a PE teacher at the end of the year last year. He was an interim, and he came in, and they actually were able to hire him full time. So he's going to be coaching the secondary for us. Mitch Nelson, which I know everybody knows the name Hunter Nelson, just a great ball player. And Mitch is just an awesome person. He's going to be helping with our defensive line, and helping me some on the offensive line as well. I've got Nathan Mann, who is back for a second year. He's going to be helping some with the defensive line as well. I've got Boogie Pace, Brian Pace, that is coming back. His son is a returning 8th grader, but he's our wrestling coach here at Canton Middle, and he's going to come help us this year. Just super excited. We Darian Bird, that I coached at Smoky Mountain, which I love dearly. He, a former player. He coached with me last year. He's also going to be back. And Levi Swilling is coming on. I played with him at Inca, and he's going to be our defensive coordinator. Super excited to have him. He's been involved with Canton Youth. He's actually going to be coaching helping with the midget program as well. So that kind of gives us a good bridge right there from coming from the youth league to the middle school program, talking about terminology, running the same type of system, all of those things, to where it makes it a nice, easy transition for them when they get to us at the middle school.
That's important, because not changing offenses or defense schemes and stuff really helps these kids coming up. We're going to talk about your first year. Your team really come on toward the end of the season. They really played well, got a couple of games in. What's your expectations for this season?
I think when Dr. Crook and Mr. Simmons hired me, I think the first thing that I told them was, I think the expectation every year should be to try to win a conference championship. I think that being from Canton should mean something, and I think as the head coach, I want them to kind of take on that ownership of, guys, like, being from Canton is a special thing. This is a football town. I think that if you asked anybody in the community what order are your priorities, it's probably Jesus, family, and football would be next. And I really believe that our kids here have certainly done just such a great job buying in. My first year I helped Coach Williams, who was fantastic. He let me come in, and I was able to do the offense for him. I ran the offense, and the following year when I got hired, that was the first things out of my mouth was, there's no reason that Canton Middle School shouldn't compete for conference championships. And I think it's one of those things. It takes time. It's developing a culture, the culture that you want. And there's also that, the expectation of, we're not going to lower our expectations. Our kids have done a really, really good job just buying in. They've worked really, really hard. We started lifting weights, after the season had ended, and they've done just such a great job. We've had really good numbers here. Our kids are getting stronger and faster. We're running the same offensive system. So for them, I think that's been such a easier transition from year to year because they're not having to learn brand new things. So that's been really, really nice to be able to have that smooth transition. Your returning kids, they kind of know your expectations. But you hit on it, earlier when you said, our team really came on at the end of the year last year. I thought that we got better each and every week. At the beginning of the year, our starting quarterback got hurt in the scrimmage. And you have this idea of what you want to do and what you're able to do. And unfortunately, just like most high schools around here, you don't have multiple quarterbacks that are sitting around that you can replace and do those things. So we had to really kind of transition our offense into something that was going to fit our kids, something that we felt like we could have some success in. And I think we certainly have done that.
You have done it, and we're going to talk about some key returners you got coming back off that team. I know you had a lot of youth on that team last year.
We did. Just starting up front, Carter Yawn is coming back, 8th grader. He is absolutely just a joy to be around, hardworking kid. He really kind of sets the tone for us, I feel like, up front as an offense. Caden Troll is back. He played at the youth league last year, but he's going to be an 8th grader this year. Really, really excited about him. He's 6 foot tall and weighs 240 pounds. Whoa. And for a middle school lineman, that's pretty good. And he moves really well. So we're excited about him. Blake Nelson, Hunter's little brother. And I'm sure he's probably, if he watches this, he's going to be mad that I said little brother. But he's done a really, really good job. He's come in. This is his first year playing. Done a really good job. C.J. Riley, Carson Riley's younger brother, is also doing a really good job. And Jack Martinez round out that left tackle position. It's just like I tell the kids right now. Really, nobody has a set in stone position as far as earning a starting job. We'll find a lot more out once we start hitting. I've also have some really good depth there with Carter Hanna. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can kind of do it all. He snaps some. He plays guard. He can play tackle. And Andrew Worley has done some snapping for us. So we have quite a bit of depth as far as the offensive line. Quarterback is a returner, but he's just new to the position. Is Caden Rowland. Super excited about him, just to see his growth from the beginning of this summer to yesterday at the 7-on-7. Just to see his maturity, see how he really commands the huddle and does those things, really sets the bar high for himself and his teammates, which is what you want in a leader. As somebody that's the quarterback on the team, you want somebody that's going to do that. Knox Best moved from quarterback last year to now he's going to be the tight end. He's grown, it looks like a foot, and he's about 6 foot tall, and is doing really, really good job for us. He's going to be one of the tight ends. And Mitchell Connor is going to be a 7th grader that's coming up from the youth league that we're really excited about to be the other tight end. And then when you get to the backfield, talking about the fullback is Kason Wilson, and I'm really, really excited about that kid. I had multiple coaches coming up to me yesterday just talking about, man, like he's a really good looking kid. You know, he's 5'11" and weighs 180 pounds, and you know, he's really strong. Can you know, has really good hands. Is physical. You know, all the things that you would need really in that fullback position. You know, that thumper guy, but he's also very athletic. It reminds me a little bit of like a Hunter Nelson type kid that can catch the ball out of the backfield, that can do some different things. Damian Garcia is another back. I can't say enough about Damian. He's just super athletic. He can play wide out. He can play in the backfield. He can do a lot of different things. So really excited to have him back as an 8th grader. Hudson Pace, he was our starting tailback last year. He's back as an 8th grader. You know, so and for Hudson, I mean, if you had to say, you know, who's your true unsung, you know, leader on the team, you know, I mean, that guy really leads by example. We have a lot of good leaders on this team, but you know, for that one specifically, he's a middle linebacker, he's the running back, you know, does a lot of good things. Hunter Brooks is a 7th grader. I know that I feel like we just keep going on and on, but you know, there's so many of them that are going to be key contributors. Hunter Brooks is a 7th grader coming up. We're really excited about him. He's a will linebacker and also one of the backs back there in the backfield. We're actually going to have the luxury, Rhonda, of being able to kind of rotate some folks in. I mean, you know, which at a middle school level is really unheard of. You know, you don't really have that depth, but you know, we're very fortunate, very blessed to have the kids that we do, to have the buy-in and all of those things. So we're really, really excited though with what we have.
So your team's a lot larger this year than it was last year?
So it's not in size, no ma'am. So we had 50 kids last year. My first year as the head coach, I'm pretty sure that I went into every crevice of Canton Middle School recruiting. I wanted Canton Middle football to be something people were proud of, something people wanted to be a part of. And we had really, really good number. I mean, we had 50 kids. I know Mr. Simmons had to buy helmets a couple different times, which I know that was kind of uncanny, you know, because you know, you don't expect that, not from a middle school program, but
right.
But we were very fortunate there, and this year we're probably looking at about 35 to 40 kids is what we're going to have probably when it's all said and done.
Okay. Talk about your you've already touched on a couple of your line on both sides. Talk about the defensive side. You know. Yeah.
So I'm super excited for Coach Swilling. He does such a good job, Rhonda. I you know, it's just his preparation piece and everything else. And you know, I've been around, to me, some of the better coaches in Western North Carolina, whether that be you know, Coach Brindley and Coach Presley specifically. You know, Coach Presley was the offensive line coach at Smoky, and I really learned a lot about just preparing your kids and making sure that, you know, you're watching film, you're using the right verbiage, you're trying to do those things to really instill that. And I feel like Coach Swilling really does a good job of that with our kids. Our offensive and defensive line, a lot of them will just kind of rotate in and out. From the offense, we don't really have enough depth to, you know, platoon or anything like that. Spoke just a little bit about our backers. You know, Kason Wilson, he's going to walk down and be an outside linebacker. Knox Best will also, you know, he also plays tight end. He's going to walk down and play backer. And then, you know, we have, you know, kind of the Swiss Army knife with Damian, where, you know, he could play backer, he could play safety. Right now he's done a little bit of both, but you've got Hudson Pace at the middle backer, and you've got Hunter Brooks as that will backer. Our secondary, Caden Rowland right now has been rolling at free safety. He's doing a fantastic job. He's the quarterback of the secondary. He's the quarterback on offense, so he's done a really good job there. I got a couple of different guys at corner. I've got Isaac Bright, who is he's his first year playing, but just a absolute freak athletically. He can run and jump, do all the things. He's still trying to figure out the football piece, but he's coming along and doing really well. And Maddox Littrell will be will have an opportunity to be that other corner along with Tatum Dalton, which he's going to be a rising 7th grader. So, you know, really excited about this group, Rhonda. They're just they work really hard. They've done really well.
Let's talk about your schedule this season coming up. How do you feel about your schedule this year compared to last year?
You know, we're going to have to be road warriors this year. We have 3 home games. We'll play. We'll open up here at home against Hendersonville, and the next 2 will be later in the season. We play Waynesville here, and we'll play Macon here. So for us, I mean, a lot of it's going to be, you know, just preparing ourselves, making sure that our kids are mentally focused on those long bus rides, that you're going places, and still understanding that there's a job at hand to do. You know, we're going to win a football game, and that's what we're here to do. And so you know, from that standpoint, it'll be a challenge, especially early, because I think we go from Hendersonville at home, then we go to Flat Rock, to Madison County, to Smoky Mountain. So you're looking at 3 long road trips, you know, back to back to back. So, you know, I think just preparation and making sure that we understand that, and we keep the main thing, and but overall, you know, I'm excited for the opportunity to play these folks.
Well, these kids ought to be used to being road warriors, because since Hurricane Helene and the field had to get replaced, a lot of the games were played on the road or at Bethel. You know, and so I think that they might be pretty good on the road. They're prepared for it. They've been prepared for it.
Absolutely. It's an unfortunate thing to have to be prepared for, but it's also a blessing as well. You know, I think the one thing that if you ask about the kids in this community, regardless of football players or anything, is just resilience. You know, I feel like our community is very resilient. You know, the way that, you know, we've built back better. I really do believe that. You know, I'm very appreciative to Bethel Elementary and Miss Watson. You know, I remember, you know, the first year here that I was back home, you know, the flood happened.
Yeah.
So, you know, Miss Watson was gracious enough to let us practice up there at the elementary school at Bethel, and you know, and Coach Ray and Miss Baldwin and them let us use their facilities over at Bethel for our middle school football games, and we're really appreciative of that.
And that's the reason your team's going to be resilient, and they've been through adversity, so they know how to bounce back. Well, Coach, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a successful season this year. And I think you probably will do a lot better this year than you did last, because you were really coming on toward the end of the season.
I think so. We're excited about it. We're excited to just get it started. I know that it's been a long time. I think yesterday was a breath of fresh air because our kids were getting to go against different people. But we're certainly excited about it, and we're excited about the opportunity to compete and hopefully have a successful season.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Bird with Milltown Sports, and I'm here today with Coach Richard Ray from Bethel Middle School. We're going to talk about a fall preview for the upcoming Bethel Middle School football team. So, Coach Ray, congratulations for your first gig.
Thank you.
Nice to have you aboard. Talk a little bit about you first, so people can know you as your first-year head coach at Bethel Middle School.
Yeah, absolutely. So I came from Asheville. I grew up in Asheville. Graduated from AC Reynolds High School, 2 decades ago now, coming up. So played football in college at Brevard College under Coach Paul Hamilton. We were Division II, had a lot of good competition around here. And from there, just started a career, and now I'm here. Now I'm here, 30-something years old, doing what I love. I always wanted to do this. I've coached in some capacity, but never been a head coach with such a good supporting staff. So.
The people in Haywood County really love their football, so you're in a good football community. They really support the kids. So let's talk about your first year. What's your expectations for this year for this team?
I started last year, so I've had one team
Okay.
under my belt. This year, we've lost some size, but we've gained some speed. These kids they're speedy, they're quick, they're out there right now. They're self-motivated. They get after it in the weight room. I don't know if you knew we have a weight room up here at Bethel.
No.
So we've got a weight room for a middle school that I don't think there's not much I would change. So they're motivated in there. They're on time, and they like to get after it. So.
So let's talk about how many kids you have on this team, how many the athletes you have on this team. Do you have a lot of athletes that turned out for the football program?
We have 24 out here today. That's with obviously some are missing for vacation and other commitments right now. But so 24 today, hoping to see about 30. But it's been around there, yeah.
So let's start with the key returners. I know a lot of programs, you have kids that graduate, move on to high school. Talk about some of your key returners you got coming back this year.
Obviously, our 7th graders that are rising up in 8th grade are going to be the ones I'm going to mention right now. I haven't seen the other kids play, the ones that are coming up from midgets into 7th grade. Now I do have to take my hat off to them. They did lose in the Super Bowl last year. They made it all the way to the championship game, and they didn't allow a lot of points that year. Last year, they scored a lot of points, so it was fun to see them on Saturdays, and it helped me look forward to what was going to happen this year. But the kids I have coming back for the middle school, I've got Felipe Castillo. He's going to be sort of our workhorse. Brantley Gibbs. Both of those guys are wrestlers, and they did really well this year in wrestling. And I think that sort of motivated them to keep the train rolling, if that makes sense.
Well, let's, all good teams have to start in the trenches. Let's talk about both sides of the ball, your offensive line and your defensive line. These guys don't get any recognition unless they get a penalty called against them. So let's talk about those guys.
It's the most stressful job on the field, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Most stressful job on the field. We're deep there this year. We're deep there. We right now, as it sits, we could run 2 deep, and all 10 of those guys from right tackle to left tackle, all 10 of those guys I would trust. So that's more than we had last year, and that's really it says a lot about this program and the school and the community. A lot of guys come out. So.
It does. Well, let's talk about your skill positions. I know you lost Landon Surratt last year. Great running back you had. He's a horse, and he was a good linebacker too. You've got to replace him in the backfield. Have you got some skill players in the backfield this year?
So we're looking at moving Felipe into the backfield this year. We've got a couple kids, and Landon has hard shoes to fill, right?
He does.
They know it. I know it. Great kid. Gonna miss him, but I'm glad. This is where you start. You start to become a man at this age. So I'm glad that he's going to do some good things down there. But Felipe, we've got Felipe looking at a position in the backfield. We've got a couple of those rising 7th graders, Max Thompson, Jake Maris, in the backfield as well. So right now we're working on getting those kids installed in their positions. So we'll know more once we strap it up. We got a bye week next week, and then we're back, and we'll start getting some shells on, and we'll know a little bit more after that. But yeah.
Talk about your quarterback position. Who's going to be coming in at your quarterback position?
So we've got a couple options. Luke Brindley's probably going to head up the quarterback depth chart. He's got a heck of an arm. We've got behind him, and even cooperating with him, we've got Lane Henson, and Luke Franklin's a first-time player. He played baseball, and he's coming out, and he can throw the rock a little bit too. So.
Usually your baseball players make your best quarterbacks because they have it's like Patrick Mahomes. They can throw it from any position. It's like kind of crazy how baseball players make your best quarterbacks.
Yeah, and they come from good genes too.
Yeah, they come from
all of them.
Brindley's got some good genes, and Henson.
Yep.
Yeah, they.
And then Luke Franklin too.
Yeah, they all are former players at one
hurt.
time at Pisgah, and their dads now were coaching and. So it's kind of fun to have that.
It doesn't hurt at all.
Family tree in there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your schedule. I haven't got your schedule yet to release online, but let's talk about that.
So I know we open with Apple Valley on August 27th, and we've got Brevard the week after that. So Apple Valley's here, 5 o'clock on August 27th, and we played them last year over there, and we got rained out. There was a thunderstorm came through, pretty big one. We were down at that point, and that was an eye-opening game. So they were big. We were I mean, they were bigger than us, and we were pretty big last year. So, but looking forward to that. Trying to get, a grudge match going. So, but after that, we've got Brevard. We got to travel to Brevard. Be the first time I'm going out there. So, those are the first couple games we have going on.
So on the defensive side, I forgot about your defense. Let's talk about your DBs in the backfield. How well are you going to be this year in the backfield?
In the defensive backfield?
Defensive, yes.
We've got some plug and plays. We do. We've got some plug and plays there. Again, once we get around, start throwing the rock here in about a week and a half, we'll know more. But we've got some plug. We haven't participated in any 7-on-7, but we've got enough out here to give good looks, I feel like. So, yeah.
Well, Coach, anything you want to talk about that we missed out on that I forget?
I don't think so.
What about special teams? Do you have any kickers this year?
Felipe will be our kicker, more than likely. We've got some guys want to compete for long snapping positions, and we've got some wedge busters and some gunners out there too. We are fast, and that's one thing I'll take to the bank. We are fast this year.
So the long snapper's the one that never gets any credit in the game. They never mention their name. If the kicker misses, it's always the kicker's fault. So a long snapper, to me, is the most important position on your special teams.
Make a career out of being a long snapper.
Exactly.
If you want to make it to the NFL, be a long snapper.
That is.
If you don't have the physical strength, be a long snapper.
That's true, because you look at all the players that made that just do long snapping in the NFL or in college. That's all they do.
I think there was one. I played with one guy or two guys in college that tried out for NFL, that went to the NFL Combine or a camp or something. One was a long snapper because he was good at it.
Oh, well,
he had one job, So,
that and punters. I mean, if you can punt the ball well and you're a long snapper.
And the other was our punter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they had a good relationship, and if we can create a good relationship out here with our long snapper and our punter, options are endless. So.
Well, talk about the team cohesivity amongst the team this year.
I'm very, very pleased. These guys, they like to laugh and cut up, but when it's time to get serious, I told them today, guys, we got you for 2 hours, 2 hours a day for the next 6 months, 4 days a week. Give me that 2 hours, and I promise you'll see good things. And this is a group. I came in last summer. And they didn't know me very well, but these guys, I've gotten to know them over the past year, and I couldn't ask for a better group. So to be around, to be with, there's good energy out there. So
that's what you want. You want good energy,
yep.
and they're coachable.
Yeah, very coachable. Yep.
See, well, Coach Ray, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And I hope you have success in your upcoming season. You'll see us more. We'll be covering a lot of your middle school games, and probably be doing interviews with you after the games.
Okay.
So I appreciate your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
And thank you.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.